What is up, all you gamers? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the recap. Our first recap in a brand new space, which we're still trying to show off to you guys slowly but surely. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get on into it. Hope you all enjoy. So the biggest news we talked about last week is a brand new partial owner of Cloakzy Gaming. TimTheTatman has signed millions and millions of dollars of deals, and well, it continues with his AT&T streaming tour, several stops. He's going to be going through Vegas at one point or another, but his first one is actually the old Cowboys AT&T Stadium, and nothing better than a good old streaming tour to start off with some Warzone hackers being displayed on a gigantic, I believe 160-foot Jumbotron screen. It was Tim towards the end of his debut stream for the tour, spectating a solo who ended up being a hacker and ended up winning on a gigantic stadium screen.
Because he was just aiming chest level, but he got headshots. 11-5. I think he's cheating. I think he's cheating. I do. I think he's cheating.
Well, I'll say, you said the old stadium. I think it's the current stadium as well as the old stadium. So
is it the current
yeah,
stadium?
it's also the current one. They just renamed it. So now it's called the AT&T Stadium.
Oh, my tweet sounds a lot more idiotic now.
So, other than that, I'm just not surprised at all. I think at this point, no one's surprised. If you're going to play Warzone in any capacity, especially if it's up on a Jumbotron, then you know a hacker is going to take center stage at that point.
I know, and I really want to know if he's out. He obviously probably saw the clips and he's like, yep, that $5 I spent, that $15 I spent, so freaking worth it. Mom, Dad, I want a Jumbotron.
And then the other thing I'll say, was this while he was playing with Ezekiel Elliott? Is that right? With the Cowboys?
I think it was shortly afterwards.
It was shortly
actually,
afterwards. Yeah. Okay, then that's fine. But I was going to say, not only are you playing at the Cowboys Stadium on the Jumbotron, then you have this pro player right next to you, pro football player, not pro gamer, right next to you with all these celebrities. You met all these important people, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do my stream real quick. And then a hacker wins. And it's like, man, that's kind of a downer.
Greg, are they shooting fire? Yeah, don't shoot fire, because this guy's cheating. Unless he loses, in which case we shoot fire. But this guy's definitely cheating. No fire for you, buddy! Not on my watch. Yeah, that's a hacker right there, bro. That right there is magnetic bullets, ladies and gentlemen, and we saw it on a 160-foot wide screen at AT&T Stadium.
In the moment.
And he did hold off the fireworks because they did not shoot it off, and so you have the whole production crew there where he's like, no thanks. But he could actually be a future pro gamer. Ezekiel Elliott, just days after this stream went down, and as of us recording this, he is now signed to Xset. So you have Cloakzy Tim and one of his Dallas Cowboy, not teammates, but you know, a guy he just met also joining Xset. Kind of coincidence of timing there as well. Big things for Tim, also big things for hackers, sadly. Definitely one of your bigger Warzone drama pieces. Some controversy out there this past week involving two Warzone creators, one kind of Warzone pro, one Warzone creator for New York subliners, that being Swish, a female content creator for the team. And as she was, I wouldn't say targeted, but certainly by some eyes out there harassed by a fellow Warzone streamer known as Clutchbelk. A lot of different opinions on this one, so feel free to check out Hunter's video on full details. Pretty much it was apparently a mod of Clutchbelk's going into her Discord to post some jokes and banter. She screenshots that, she puts it back in the tournament Discord that everyone was in. Clutchbelk gets offended, begins to riddle, and the banter kind of ends there, as it's kind of just Clutchbelk just going at this Warzone streamer who is having no part of this banter.
And the thing I'll say, we can preface this, like you said, there's two different sides to this where people believe one side is right, people believe the other side is right. And so yes, we can say that there was a little bit of targeting going on. I think anyone can agree with that. It's one person going after the other person after a certain amount of time where Swish was not responding anymore. And Clutchbelk kind of kept going, kind of let his chat, his mods go, didn't apologize for it or anything like that. And that's the part I think that bothers me the most, is that it just kept going and there wasn't any apology. But people did also say, well, if this was a guy to a guy, comparing it to Nick Merckx and Huskers, then people wouldn't have made a big deal about it. But it just felt a little bit more one-sided than I think Nick Merckx and Huskers did, because he was just completely and like repeatedly kind of downing her, saying, oh, you'll never win an event, you'll never be good enough, you're just mad about the situation, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, and there was no single apology. Even at one point, Nick Merckx apologized to P90 Princess in the Huskers drama, and I think the most important part is Huskers was still swinging back.
Yeah.
And so no matter what side you took on that, you know, who swung back harder, who won that little trash talk event, it was not one-sided. It was two parties that were partaking in the trash talk. This is very different from that case, and especially when you have Mama Belk, his mom getting in. If you guys saw the chat messages that she dropped in there, I mean, no, Nick's mom and Husker's mom or parents did not get involved in their individual beef and banter. So when that got there and the stuff she said, it's like, okay, we've gone too far.
I think it was something along the lines of like a bish gets what a bish gets.
Are we gonna? Oh, you said bish.
Yeah.
Bish.
And
we
so
don't say those words.
It just seems. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if my mom said that, if I like in person or even on a chat, I'd be like, Mom.
Like, it depends on the situation, but it seemed pretty darn serious.
Yeah.
So what did y'all think about it? Definitely two Warzone streamers going back and forth, that being Clutchbelk and Swish. Certainly a controversial moment. A shocking clip out there this past week, which has been slightly debunked when it comes for Halo Infinite. The little testers are out there for a few lucky streamers, and we're seeing a lot of gameplay, which, again, we've seen a lot of mixed reviews about what this game is going to do just over 2 months away from release. How it's going to enter esports, and especially the streaming space, is going to be very interesting. One of those streamers was Jeff Shenny, who showed off an insane Halo aim assist clip where he went AFK. This is a mouse and keyboard player who had his controller plugged in, so there was a bit of debate back and forth as to how this was. He stepped away, and you literally can see his game just tracking players from a distance, which was crazy.
We saw something like this with Call of Duty recently too, in Warzone, where someone had left their controller and it followed them, which to me, I mean, I'll play the skeptic here. How many people are just leaving their controllers in the middle of a game out and someone happens to walk by and you happen to get, you know, the best shot of aim assist in the game? And so part of me is skeptic about it, but also I'm sure there is a degree of aim assist in the game, as there is in all games with controllers, and I'm sure it will be helpful, but to see it so blatant and outright like that is a little bit outrageous.
And one of the lead designers for Halo did respond to tweets out there, and what he said is this actually was mouse and keyboard, but it's only an aim assist that happens if you don't have your hands on your mouse and keyboard. Once you put your hand back on your mouse, apparently this is not going to be an active aim assist when you are actively aiming. So a bit confusing for a guy like me, but apparently this is not going to be a real problem in the game. So we'll see how this progresses. You know, I don't know if you're told to say these kind of things so they can fix it over the next couple of months, but obviously both inputs are going to have some degree of aim assist, which is where these debates always begin. And for the first time ever, we're seeing mouse and keyboard have some stronger aim assist than controller.
So what you're telling me is the plan is to sit at your computer, set up in a corner, then waiting. As soon as someone walks by and your aim assist kicks on, then you grab it and then you shoot.
No. You just leave your finger on your shoot button. So,
right.
Or try and trick the input that you're not even touching your mouse.
Exactly.
But either way, Halo Infinite has confirmed that apparently the aim assist is not going to be as bad as this clip makes it seem, but still controller versus mouse and keyboard will always be a widespread debate. And a story we just covered yesterday, this is a big one in the Valorant space involving a female Valorant pro who was caught and alleged of boosting with a cheater several times to gain some MMR in the good old game of Valorant. This was actually a huge story because when she first came out, her name being Slays, a female pro for the team known as Polaris, who is about to play in VCT Game Changers, so a very big time for this team to be competing. She was suspended, seemingly at the time, out of nowhere. A 3-month suspension, not allowed to compete in VCT Game Changers. And then we find out from good old Riot Games, well, there was something behind the email they sent you, as she was accused of not just a few times, but several times of actually boosting with an alleged cheater.
I'll ask, just to be upfront, if I'm not mistaken, she originally came out and kind of threw out some accusations towards Riot. That changed a little bit, right?
I left that to the wind, but I'm glad you brought it up because, yes, it wasn't just her being suspicious of her being suspended. She also took to a twit longer to accuse Riot Games and someone of the anti-cheat team for targeting her, which I will say, that is a bold strategy.
I was gonna say spicy and bold there too, especially now that we know in retrospect, right, that Riot Games had some evidence behind the scenes. I mean, she knew what she was doing and then still came forward and was like, oh, like no one, they're not gonna know. I'm just gonna come forward and say, oh, they're targeting me specifically. This is a big problem. I shouldn't have been banned. And then later on, they kind of call her bluff there and say, well, actually, you know, here's the evidence.
And even after the official Valorant North American page issued her punishment, that 3-month suspension in front of tens of thousands of people, she has continued to deny that any of this has been ongoing, which again is something we're not used to. Usually when an official person like Riot Games issues the punishment publicly, you go sorry or you go quiet, and you don't go, oh no, I still haven't done it. So it's definitely a very interesting situation. They drop all the factual evidence saying, 8 games here, 10 games here, you won this many. Apparently 77% of her MMR gained was because she duo queued with an active cheater. 60% of her games overall were played apparently duo queue with an active cheater. So some astonishing figures out there, which she continues to deny. I imagine the team is probably going to respond here shortly to drop, and a lot of community members have even responded saying, here's the evidence, by the way, he is a cheater. And even some Valorant players out there like Bumpa have been like, I queued against you when you had a cheater. I remember this.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to re-queue with someone after receiving a warning screen that you have been playing with a cheater detection screen, and then continue to re-queue with that same person, eventually at some point you have to realize, oh, I'm playing with a cheater.
Right.
So we'll see what happens from here on out, but it seems that Riot Games have now issued a 3-month suspension of a female Valorant pro. Lots of people out there revolving around Dr. Disrespect as of late, as many streamers might be moving to YouTube. Some like TimTheTatman get to reunite with him. People like Z-Laner go back to Twitch rivals and will continue to play with him and even sometimes cosplay him. It's actually Cloakzy. As of the latest TimTheTatman stream a few days back where he was at Complexity HQ, it's Cloakzy stepping onto the mic to say, God, I really want to play with Doc, and then talks to chat about, do I risk a 30-day ban if that does happen and take some vacation just to play with Doc?
I want to play with Doc so f***ing bad. What if I stream, right? I stream with Doc. Z didn't get banned, right? Z didn't get banned, so I'm thinking I stream with Doc. The worst thing that happens is I get banned for like 2 weeks or a month. But then I have 2 weeks or a month off of streaming, 5-head, right? And then I come back.
I'll say it seems like a lot of these bigger streamers are realizing that the big deals is really where their money is at this point. And so you see people like Nick, Tim, and Cloakzy having all these deals coming up or considering deals, maybe organizations to go to. We don't know where people are going to end up or what platforms they'll end up on. But to see Cloakzy outright talk about, hey, who cares if I get banned for 30 days?
It's crazy.
For a week. Maybe I'll go on a vacation to Bora Bora and enjoy myself. Yeah, it is crazy to think, it almost doesn't matter to them at this point because the deals that they are potentially in the works of are probably that much bigger.
And Cloakzy, I believe, is in a recent Twitch contract still. So it's even just the fact that he's talking about this whilst being in a Twitch contract is like, wow, we are in a wild time right now where streamers, certainly after seeing people like Z, I think has really opened the door. And of course, Tim making the official move have really opened people's eyes of like, maybe we can get away with some stuff. Z, of course, is no longer partnered on Twitch. He is not risking a contract with Twitch because he won't take a contract from them. So I hope these guys are smart about it. I think a lot of his Doc's main partners like Nick and Cloakzy have been very smart about that kind of stuff. So we'll see if Cloakzy does risk it. I'll finish off on this. Do you think he does? Because I think no.
No, I don't think Cloakzy, of all people, will do it. Unless it's maybe right before some sort of deal, like I was talking about. Maybe, and I don't know how Twitch contracts work. If you lose your contract, are you then open to sign somewhere else? Or do they have to wait a little while? Like, could he then sign to YouTube by streaming with Doc and then being like, okay, bye, Cloakzy, and then he just switches on over?
You would think not.
You would think not, but you never know, because if that's Twitch's decision, then Twitch is the one who did it, right? You never know how contracts work, but knowing Cloakzy, I mean, what do they call him, Franklin the Turtle or whatever? I don't think that the Turtle is going to be pushing anyone's buttons at this point.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Cloakzy and Dr. Disrespect. Do you guys think Cloakzy will risk the Twitch ban? As per usual, we hope you guys all enjoy the recap. We'll see you back here next week, same time, same day.
You guys look beautiful today. Keep it up.
So do you. Okay, bye.